The Witnesses by Jacob the Wolf 66. I do not have long now. In about 4 hours, I'm going to lose my memory again. So with that in mind, I need to get this out there whilst I still can. It could be years before I remember everything again. My existence is a never-ending torture of bad memories and living nightmares. I can't remember my real name. I've had so many and I can barely keep track. The same goes with other people's faces, names, and certain unimportant cities. It's going to sound insane, but it's the truth. I can never truly die. Let me rephrase that. I can die, it's just I come back in another life. I am the perfect and purest example of reincarnation. When I die, or eject as I sometimes call it, depending on the circumstances, I am born again to different parents. I have a childhood, a life, friends, and experiences, but in the end, those are irrelevant compared to the end. But when I mature, become an adult, I always look the same. I'm male, same face, reddish-brown hair brushed back, the same bone structure and body build. The only difference in my form is my voice. Depending on where I'm born, I do end up with native accents, but the tonality and sound remains the same. It gives light to that whole nurture theory. I am cursed. This is a curse beyond comparison. I usually don't die normal. This is where things get darker, to go with the already skeptical parts. At some point during a life, I encounter something terrifying. Things that no other human being should see ever in their lives. Many times I am exposed to supernatural events. Sometimes it's more human, but just as sinister. I remember them all now. But like I said, I've done this so many times that they start to blend together. I'll name a few. In one life, I remember going camping by myself, encountering an evil doppelganger of myself. I survived that encounter, though. Oh yeah, most of the time I do end up surviving these encounters and go on to live the rest of that particular life with its memory either haunting me or crawling back to kill me in the future. In the instances where I'm about to die because of an encounter and experiences my body doesn't let myself get killed, I just start to fade and get thrust into a new life, hence ejected. I just disappear. To me, it's like everything in sight just fades into darkness. Anyways, in another life, I recall the time I worked a factory job and encountered things that were a little too future world for my taste. Another is when I believed someone that I worked with investigated what I called a suicide house and literally went through the looking glass. One name that sticks out is Robert Elm. In this life, I lived my life on the run from some satanic cult. Go figure. I've been a Marine. I've met the devil in a nightclub and had quite the conversation. I've fought a couple of Wendigos, been a chauffeur for paranormal entities, and been hunted down by the dark web. Now, some of you may be hearing this and thinking that this is pretty awesome and adventurous. Let me assure you, as the one who's lived all this, it is fucking gut-wrenching insanity. You never get used to it. In the brief moments before I die, either I eject or not, I remember every life, and the download of sudden knowledge usually sends me into an epileptic-like seizure. Which brings me to where I am now. You see, every 22 lives or cycles, I get at least 24 hours of the 22nd life where I remember everything full-time. Which is now. This is the worst curse. At least during the others, I'm ignorant and oblivious to everything in the other lives, and what horrific thing is going to eventually come my way. Now I remember everything. every terrifying experience. Knowing is agony. It's pain. Having hundreds of lives in my head, all with memories of things that human beings are supposed to forget, that we want to forget. I don't know how this happened to me. What I did to deserve such a fate. Being left alone with these thoughts is the definition of madness. I thought this must be what hell is. But no, I don't think that's the case. The crazy thing is, I don't think I'm the only one. I've read and heard stories about other people who tell different yet equally terrifying stories. Their voices sound the same when they tell their stories. They never show their faces. Of course, they haven't come out and said what I'm telling you now. But I have an instinct that these handful of people are like me. I mean, they have to be, right? I can't be the only one like this. I can't. Many of you will come up with your own theories and speculations as to my condition, ranging from definite insanity to being some sort of god. You must wonder what my theory is. I do have one I cling to try and make sense of this. In the Bible, there are references to what is called the witnesses. Not your courtroom ones, no. According to what I've read, they are people chosen by either God or some higher power charged to bear witness to the unnatural, to see and experience what others will not. That they are protected in some sort of way by God. In some twisted way, I've reasoned that being immune to true death is what it means. I don't know if this is the real truth. I just want this to end. To meet true death. To see the true afterlife like heaven. I'm not even picky at this point. I'll try hell. Just anything to break this cycle. Please help me. I'm so tired of this existence. It's not fair. If you were like me and reading this, get your real story out there. Maybe if somehow by some miracle that people like us met and shared our knowledge, we could find a solution. Find out what it all really means. I have to go now. The doctors are coming to my room again soon. They think I'm crazy. That I'm suffering from some sort of PTSD and that my mind is playing tricks on me, but I know better. My time is short, and I won't even remember writing this. Not for a long, long time, I suspect. With all this in mind, if you shrug this off or think I'm mad, if you should think of my tale at some point in time, even if it's just a thought, please remember this above all else, because it's the one thing I know to be true. I bore witness.